And we're back.
Hey, everybody.
So Robert Steele, Mark One and a Mark Two. One of them is now a Nobilis, and one of them is a guy without any sadism who also needs to be able to run a Fortune 500 business.
Mm-hmm. It's possible.
Is it possible?
I mean, he still has a skill of 5 in business. I have a skill in 5 in business, and he's my clone.
That's true, but he won't enjoy using it. Will he?
Wait a minute. Did you just imply that all business
Is sadism
has an element of sadism to
a
it?
significant
That's
element?
what I heard.
It must. Like, it's all about enjoying crushing your competition, right?
Not every company is Comcast. Or EA, which just buys up companies and kills them for the heck of it.
Right. All right. Well, we'll see how this guy runs his company now that he doesn't get any kicks out of ruining other people's lives. Man, he might even have a decent HR department. Can you imagine?
He's going to take the whole thing non-profit and turn it into a save the world thing, and stock is just going to plummet.
Well,
his stockholders are going to vote him out.
I mean, that's what happened to Batman.
It was just Discord being funny. Okay, well, that's not fixed completely. Hopefully it's better, though.
We're back for the moment.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, Robert, you have made your clone unconscious at your feet.
Yeah, and then do the rest of you guys arrive? Because I did tell you guys to arrive, and do you walk in effectively right after that happens?
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we established I fly in on the.
Mm-hmm. So like
sure.
one of the walls of the room just like completely crashes open with a giant pterodactyl flying through it, cawing loudly. I'm completely nonplussed.
That's fine. It's just a means of transportation.
Mm-hmm.
Like a rent-a-bike.
Yeah.
I
think I explained to you guys. Yeah, I did, and I think I think to start things off, unless we want to have a specific scene about me explaining things to you guys, I explain things to you guys about what happened.
Sure.
So as a player, I don't remember, but as with an aspect of form, I would have a very good memory and would tell you the name of the excursion that she identified herself, and I told you guys about the lie and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Sorry, quick question, Will, just to make the spelling right. This is the Warmane Euphrasia?
No.
Oh.
Here.
It's some other name?
I'll put it in chat. This is her name.
Got it.
That is an awesome name. And yeah, so I say that. I say, like, I tell you about the lie that I did, the false promise. How I told, like, I try to just tell you guys, like, it's a lot, like, I lied to her.
Right.
And that we promised to bring our Imperator with us outside of the chancel, and as soon as our Imperator leaves the chancel, she says she can handle the rest. So our Imperator should not leave the chancel.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if I leave the chancel without the Imperator, she's also going to wonder what's up.
What are you going to do with him? No, sorry. Phineas wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Phineas would say, how should we tend to him?
Bandage the wound on his forehead. Make sure he's okay. I'm going to send him back. to stand in my place. I've got a company after all. Someone needs to run it. Might as well be me.
I think I would say something like, I've seen you in the newspapers. You seem to know much about the world, but we should talk about some of your business practices.
He doesn't believe in clean energy.
My character is like probably, if I've modeled him like a mix of Batman and Elon Musk. Elon Musk, I think is how you pronounce it. He seems very clean energy-esque. So I think, I think I raise an eyebrow in a "I'm feigning interest, but have heard this all before" type of expression.
Yep.
And say
about clean energy and the Cambodian miners that put it together while chained up in the factory.
And I say, what? My company is run to the best of my ability, as well, as efficiently, as with as much integrity as can be done.
I think I smile and I nod and I say, later we can talk about it. And Phineas has he has like a really cheery face. He has like a beard, right? He's wearing the black shirt and the collar. But he's like in his late 30s, early 40s, beard, brown hair, glasses, like really big smile. And he just says, later, today, by my reckoning, we have returned from heaven, fought off the Excrucians, diverted a meteor.
I literally got a second life.
Right. Returned you to the world of men. And now we have to deal with the witch.
Right.
Yes. The
witch.
Crucian is still bound in the basement of a tavern.
Yes.
I think do we want to do a quick out of game conversation for a second?
Sure.
I don't mind, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
In terms of what we could do?
Yeah. I mean,
I could probably do divination for who would wish to harm an Excrucian using sadism to find details about her.
I mean, I think I'm still very focused on the terms of the contract, because my priority is to stop them from entering reality in a meaningful way, which begs some questions, because clearly they're here right now. So what form are they in?
That's a good question.
Yeah. But are we all going to go do this thing, or do people have other things?
For me, everything else has been dealt with. I think that's immediate. The meteorite is now dealt with. The Excrucians have been delayed. Not dealt with, but delayed.
Yeah, we haven't really dealt with any problems, but we have delayed a lot.
Yep. Yes, we have.
It's all about managing your timetable, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Prioritize. Okay.
But yeah, I think clearing immediate threats so we can gather our collective breath and actually put a stop to some nonsense would be a good idea. And it occurs to me that in a world that is so bound by the contracts and legalese of the celestial bureaucracy, having the leverage of, hey, we can get you out of these chains would probably be something we can nullify that contract with.
Yeah. I was thinking about using, checking in with this witch, seeing what the heck they did, seeing if we could do something similar with this, female, supposedly, if they even have actual genders, Excursion. I think they did, as I remember from last time I checked.
The one outside the chancel?
Yeah.
Silao?
Yeah, the
Silal
one.
Salam?
Yeah, she seemed very powerful, much more powerful than I would guess. This one that's chained up is, but maybe we could spruce up her method and try it. Like, a witch who hates excursion seems like a valuable ally.
She does. Perhaps that's our tactic, but it doesn't sit well with me to leave a being in chains, even an enemy.
I mean, we could just kill her.
Actually, I just had an idea. Could this is totally out of character, but all of my weeks of study on the contract, can I call that in now and use an aspect miracle?
What do you want to do?
I'd like to find a loophole contract.
I mean, tell me what the loophole you want is.
So the loophole is such that the terms of the contract are written. I think all the due diligence they've done is correct. They've gotten they've seen to the rights. They have it's a he, isn't it? Terte has gotten the correct signatures and everything signed in triplicate and so on. But the terms of it actually just let them into a reality, not necessarily the main one. So I'd like to just have, if the contract resolves within the boundaries of the chancel, they're allowed to stay in the chancel but not travel outside of it.
So here's the thing, right? The contract is explicitly a device to give them free travel.
Right.
So after you use the contract in this way and let them in under that argument, then they again get a contract which entitles them to free travel.
Okay, so there is no loophole.
I mean, there is a loophole, but
I mean, that's like.
So let me explain how I see it, because you're going to spend the miracle points, right? So here's how I see it.
I'm not even sure I know what miracle level this is.
6. Let's say it's 6. Aspect 6.
Unstoppable power.
Right. If you want to go to 7, that doesn't have to make sense anymore. And then
this
having
feels like
free travel.
Feels like 7.
Right. I mean, in that case, like, you're literally twisting the words to mean what you want.
Yeah. Do I need to execute?
You're Chewbacca defensing the contract. It doesn't make sense. No? No.
And
one
at
got
that point,
reference.
like, I as a GM stop being able to make rational arguments because, yeah, it literally just means whatever you want.
Yeah. I think that's where I want to go. I mean, you tell me if it's a fairy tale field shaking skill.
Sure.
I think that effect seems like, yeah, like this is the question: am I warping the words in a way that change the something on the scope of reality, or am I just changing the terms of the contract itself, which is a small thing?
So right now, all you're doing is arguing what you are required to do, right?
Yeah, I'm pointing out that the way the language is written, that the contract doesn't apply to free travel within all creation, but merely within the creation in which the contract is executed. So by executing the contract within our chancel, you are entitled to free travel within our chancel only.
Right.
Which feels like a twisting of the contract rather than.
I'll let you do it.
Can I do it like right now, or do I have to
do it right now?
Execution, which is like in front of Terte.
You can do it right now.
All right.
What you're doing is you're setting precedent according to the laws of the chancel.
Yes, that seems fair.
but I will say it might not hold up in front of Locust Court. Not in that you broke the contract, but that he might just say, "Hey, this contract you gave me was shit. Give me another one."
Right. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, but good luck getting to the Locust Court.
Sure. All right. If those
I have
are
a question.
the good terms for everybody, yeah. Go ahead. Question.
Yeah, my question is mechanically, is the contract effectively an Imperial miracle?
No.
No. Okay. Is it a res?
No.
Okay. So I need to figure out what I'm spending. So I've got 2, 5. So I have 2 aspect with a digit of 3, which gets me to 5. So I need to spend 2 more,
Okay.
which I do. And let's go find us our excrucian.
All right.
All right.
Let's do that.
Do we want me to do a divination miracle to find him?
I mean, I already know where he is.
Oh, okay. You know where he is specifically. Okay.
I know where the excrucian is.
But you don't know where the witch is.
That's correct.
Let's go there first, and if the witch is there, then there's no need to spend miracle points.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely not a trap.
No, it's not a trap. So how do you get there? You have a giant
Yes.
pterodactyl. I guess you
Yeah,
let
I
him
guess-
go away. You totally wouldn't ride him. That'd be silly.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, Phineas would defer to Track on this.
Yeah, I apparate away and then come back about a minute later and say, "Oh, that's right," and just start walking.
I see. And yeah, I follow.
Yep, me too.
Quick question. I just realized at the beginning of the session when you gave me a number 2 token for one of my things, that also gives me 2 miracle points that I can put wherever I want to, right?
Let me check
Or
that.
how does that work?
No, I should have told you that. You don't get miracle points for a trivial project.
Okay, just for ones above that.
Anything else,
Okay,
but not trivial.
just checking. I don't really need more, but I just wanted to know.
Yep.
So yeah, I follow Trek.
All right. So you guys are walking there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you walk through this scary forest. You can see these feathered dinosaurs in the trees, flitting about. They're kind of gliding from tree to tree, and they have black feathers. But they don't bother you because the power of dinosaurs is with you. And you come out onto this clearing. There's like this basin, and there's like this ring of grassland, and then like large fields of wheat. And past the wheat, you can see a number of almost modern houses. They don't look modern anymore. They're like wooden houses. Like you might see it like in a fantasy art. They got slate shingles, and they got what's the word when they have multiple levels? Damn, I can't remember. I watched a YouTube video about it where the top levels of the house are bigger than the bottom levels. But yeah. So you just walk into this field of wheat.
Mm-hmm.
and you hear some people call out, like when you're halfway through, and you hear like some people running away, and then you keep walking in, and you come to this clearing. It looks like all the wheat has been bent over and pressed against the ground in the shape of a circle. And there is a woman standing there in this large black robe with a scythe waiting for you.
Just like she was very clearly waiting for us?
Yeah.
Okay. Phineas, you're the usually one to make introductions. Do you do so again?
I
Or
don't
you just
think.
start.
Yeah, I don't think the Christian priest is the right person to make the introductions to the witch.
Heretic,
All right.
heretic.
All right.
I feel
The power
I
of
feel
Christ.
like this is somebody else's territory. Like,
All right.
Beck, it might be you if we're going spiritual, or I could see Primarch, or sorry, Robert, it could be you if we're like negotiating.
Yeah. Do you say anything, Trek?
I think I just kind of stop and kind of like cock my head to the side and say, "Is that a witch? What is a witch anyway?"
I think Phineas has an opinion on this. So I think Phineas would say, um, like a witch is a cursed creature. I was told, but so much of my worldview has changed. I don't know.
And this, you are right, priest.
Yeah.
I am cursed.
Robert was going to say something, but now he no longer needs to.
I just look at her impassively and say, "How are you cursed?"
I am trapped here against my will.
Who are you?
So while she's answering this, you all feel, and this is going to be strange, but you feel like all the primitive emotions that have filled you since you came here, like all those feelings are lifted, and you start feeling more like how you did before you became powers.
Oh.
She says, "My name is Zaina." And I have taken control of this town.
And what do you want, Zaina? And I think the confidence in Robert's voice has a showing a telling crack in it as he feels the feelings.
I want to be returned home, and I want the lives of my followers who were murdered in the creation of this place back to me.
How much do we know that? Like, do we know about the 100 murders as characters?
Sure, let's say yes.
I think it was mentioned at the beginning. It wasn't
Right,
in detail.
it was. Yeah.
But like one of the things is that there's been enough downtime now that you guys know basically what's going on.
With the almost 2 weeks spent on the space whale.
Right. We know some basic lore now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Spirit whale. Spirit whale.
Spirit whale? Spirit whale.
Space whales are totally different.
Yeah. They're like distant cousins.
So Xena says some words, and like you feel like this wind blow around you, and you know the grain fields start to wave. Like maybe she's just trying to impress you with her power, but
yeah,
she's definitely working magic.
I think Phineas steps forward, and Phineas is going to try to do some kind of this is like a character moment. I'm not actually doing a miracle, but he like says some
Sure.
holy words in order to like defend
Right.
him or like block the miracle.
Okay.
But I don't think it works.
Unfortunately, you don't have miraculous prayers, so
Yeah, no, that's not a thing that I have.
so your words have no effect on the magic
Right.
being done.
I think Trek says, how are you trapped here? Do you not know the way out?
This place is twisting itself, and I cannot overcome the magic it has.
How did you change us? Robert aggressively says. Loudly and aggressively, but I wouldn't call it yelling.
It's not my own magic, it's the magic of this place. It's part of the curse upon me. Anyone who comes near me, the primitiveness and the sadism and the hunger is lessened, and we retain a measure of who we used to be.
Robert's currently processing whether or not he likes feeling the way he does in comparison to the way he used to feel. So he is silent and looking and introspective right now.
If Trek doesn't say anything, Phineas will say, "It was never our intention to trap you here." I think he'd probably say something like, "It was never our intention to trap you here." But if we return you to the world, how do we know you won't injure it? You won't do evil.
What does it matter to you? I have lived in this world longer than you can count your own days.
The people of the world matter to me.
Am I not a person of the world?
Do they matter to you?
I certainly do not belong here.
I think my question is if you belong anywhere.
I'm as natural as any other thing in this world. I simply have a better understanding of my place than most.
I think Phineas would smile and say, "It's become clear to me that I know very little about the nature of the world. I need a teacher. Would you stay and teach me?"
Why would I? I cannot leave. But why would I help you?
If you teach me, I will help you leave. And perhaps from me, you can learn something, something about the goodness in the human heart.
Well, I think she just laughs. It's like you
That wasn't
Christians
Phineas
and
laughing,
your
that is me laughing.
yeah, you Christians and your sense of superiority, even moral superiority.
Weren't you immortal once?
I still am. Well, I think I am.
I say, I repeat the thing. Teach me, and I will set you free.
Mm.
And I'm happy to set an intention about it.
Okay. All right. So I think she says very well, but we will need to make an oath. And she betrays a bit of her knowledge of the world because she also asked you to swear to her res.
Mm-hmm.
She asked you to swear your oath on this knife that she produces.
I think at this point, unless Trek says something, I say wait.
Yeah, we probably say that in unison.
Yeah.
Sure.
Where is the Robert takes a single step forward, still behind Phineas, I think, but further up, and says, "Where is the excursion?"
Is that what you're here for? He is safe.
Didn't
He's
look
not
it.
going anywhere.
We're not on their side.
Nobody's on their side. Not if they're saying anyway.
An excursion is trying to break into this place, and if anyone leaves it, she will also be upon them. We need to take care of her.
I can't help you. I cannot leave this place.
We never said anything about leaving this place, but you know how to deal with their kind effectively.
The one I captured puts up no resistance. He only wishes to talk. They are not all that way.
No, they are not. Why did you take him?
I recognize what he is. A threat to this world. He and his kind would destroy it if left unabused, unhindered.
Can you take us to him?
I will help you after you swear your oath. Power.
Can you remind me what are the conditions of res? What am I swearing exactly?
All right. So I pasted this in before. If you go into the roll
Let
20,
me just scroll up. Yeah, the sacred
The
covenants
res-
of the nobilis take physical form in mundane things. For instance, a noble could make a piano, book, human, or chicken into a receptacle for a res. Such covenants then acquire the following: an affliction, I can't die or be hurt, there's a power bound by my term. I sicken when the covenant is broken by my interpretation of what would break it. The more I think about things that are not related to the contract, the more insane I become.
right. So this knife would become basically an indestructible knife that possibly could be used as a weapon against you, but would more importantly be a mystically impartial judge of your keeping of the bond.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been swearing lots of reses. I think Phineas. Somebody else wants to stop me.
Well, that's fine.
I think Trevor will try to stop you and say her leaving should not be conditional on any task that she fulfill. She's stuck here. She's stagnant. She can't grow. It is our duty to usher her along the path.
I'm fine with kicking her out. It's just that as soon as we leave, well, there's someone waiting for us.
I agree. I agree. There's no reason to keep her, but she said she's bound here. At this point, without knowing more, do we even know how to free her from the bounds of the chancel?
I might be able to divination it, actually, because if being bound here is a pain of sorts of her, I can probably figure out what's causing that.
And if it's restricting her ability to wander, I can totally dig that out.
That's fair.
Would that
Sure.
work for lesser divination? Know what is causing her pain, or like what is causing her
Be stuck here?
the
Yeah,
thing
sure.
that is causing her pain. Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
So you do that. So it's the chancel itself, like the same way it captured all these other people.
They're all bound here and can't leave. All who live
No,
here?
it's something specific to her.
Okay.
Like she's basically
Like her magic reacted with the chancel's magic somehow.
pretty
Okay.
much. Like she's basically a mistake in the chancel. Like the chancel didn't convert everybody properly. And her was like a lot of the magic of the chancel became centered in her. Like she became the counterpoint, the counterbalance
Mhm.
to a lot of people who became feral, and
Okay.
technology being destroyed. Like technology slowly withering away through absolutely nothing. She became the representation of that to the chancel. Like
Okay.
the thing that would destroy the chancel by perverting its properties if left alone, and not by her own will.
Do we know enough about chancels to know if is this necessary for a chancel to exist? Does there have to be a representative of its opposite?
There doesn't. It's a problem that needs to be fixed.
Okay.
So now we know that, but do we know that this hindrance can be removed somehow? Like, is it just as simple as throwing some power at it, or
that might be your thing, since you want to know how to send someone on their way, basically.
Yeah.
All right. So she has an affliction that says she can't leave.
We need to fix that.
Yeah. And if she does overcome that affliction, it will be, she'll take a wound.
If she does it herself?
If anybody does it to her, or if she doesn't.
There's a wound. If she, I don't know how she fits into wounds in terms of mortal, but not mortal.
Yeah.
Would it kill her?
It wouldn't kill her, but she would be gravely injured.
Yeah. If she says she lives forever, then and she can recover from being gravely injured, then what's a year or two of physical therapy as opposed to 1,000 years stuck in a place?
Right.
Golden, removing an affliction from somebody else would be a project?
Yeah.
Could you do a project that's like, this is the story of how I unbound Zaina the witch from from our chancel?
Sure.
Okay. I'm not going to. Like that's. I don't think that's something.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to do that.
Okay.
All right. Sweet.
I don't think Phineas is convinced that releasing her back into the world is a good idea because she's a witch.
I mean, we could always just kill her later.
But I mean, she is also the means of which the chancel unravels. So
she can't stay here.
Is Phineas conflicted there at all?
Yeah, like on the one hand, she's a witch, and witches are bad. That's a thing that Phineas knows. Yeah, I don't know if that's actually a thing that is true in the world. On the other hand, like binding a creature to like slavery is bad. That's another thing that Phineas knows. And he also knows that like she knows a lot of stuff that he doesn't. So,
right.
I think I'm swearing the res. Hey, unless Trek wants to swear the res instead.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a one-trick pony, but making an affliction break when they break when they're made contradictory, inconsistent, or paradoxical. If I were to anchor the witch through some means and make her representative of my estate, I think that would break the affliction.
So when you break an affliction, it's still there. You just take a wound and you get some MP.
Okay.
Okay. Shouldn't we consult the person who made her like this? Our Imperator?
Technically, nobody made her like this.
Mhm.
I mean, I didn't mean intentionally made her like this, but like made the chancel.
Right. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you suggest that, I think Phineas will say.
Yeah.
Umaya would say the solution to all problems lies in heaven. We've been down that path.
Our boss is an idiot. All right. I've worked with this kind of thing before. Our boss being an idiot, not anything else here. I don't think we have an option other than get rid of her in the sense that, I mean, get her out of here.
Yeah, I will. See, I don't think I need to swear a res or anything with her, because I'm just basically giving her my word that it will happen. We will get you out of here.
She wants someone to swear to res before she takes you to Tartnay Upnapisham.
Right.
And I think we were refusing.
I mean, I think as a player, I'm happy to do it, but Zen, because Trek is the one taking on the project, because of your alignment with the general idea of Wanderlust, I don't want to take away the opportunity from you if you think it makes sense for Trek to do it. But if Trek wouldn't do it, then I'll do it.
Yeah, to speed things along, if that's the only way she'll work with us, then yes, he will swear the res.
Okay.
We could take time to convince her, but yeah.
Alright, so you swear to res. This dagger becomes mystically enchanted with the ability to know if you're a lying bad person. And she says, follow me. And the whole time you follow her, she's casting some kind of spell. It changes from a spell that controls wind to one that makes whispering all around her.
She's a flair for the dramatic in the presentation.
Sure, that's totally it. She takes you to this cluster of houses. And probably none of you recognize
Wait.
the layout of this little town.
There's whispering all around her?
Yeah, there's whispering in the air all around her.
Yep.
I turn to Robert and I say, "Is this what you call salesmanship?"
That's an unusual tactic. Yeah. I wouldn't say that creeping out your prospective buyers as much as you possibly can sounds like a good idea. I just shrug. I think you notice as you turn, like after I shrug, that I'm still holding with like red marks on it the sharp triangular rock from before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she takes you to this little town. You probably wouldn't recognize the building layouts, but this is that little ghost town transplanted into the chancel.
Mm-hmm.
What were modern buildings have regressed to not quite medieval, but definitely much older buildings architecturally.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite thatch roof, but
Right.
not far past that.
Yeah,
Okay.
mud
Right.
huts.
Not mud huts. Like there are, slate
Log cabins.
shingles and they're not log cabins necessarily. Like they're very. I mean, there probably are a few log cabins, but most of them, have actual planks. But they look like they've been hand split. You ever been to Williamsburg? It's like colonial era buildings.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And she takes you into the tavern. There's, people getting drunk in the tavern. There's a barmaid and passing around drinks, and there's a minstrel playing a lute. And she takes you down into the basement, which is dark. And
before we go down, can I cast Ice Shard on the barmaid?
You want to do what?
No. Continue.
I don't understand the reference, but okay.
Alright, so you go into the dark basement, and the whispering intensifies until you're not entirely sure, like, if it's your companions talking or the spell, and takes you down to this room. Looks like the door's been reinforced with like several layers of wood, and it's not really like a prison cell. It's like a closet that she had reinforced to keep this excrucian contained. She opens the door, and see her. I think she has a pitcher of water, and she pours it into a pan on the floor, and walks out of the room and says, "This is it. This is him, as you requested." And Tapia, the Pishdom, now he gets up. He's like, "Friends, finally, you've come to release me from my prison."
I think we all just kind of stand there, like, I know that's what I do. I suspect that might be what all of us do.
Yep, I think Phineas will pull the contract out of his pocket and say, "I've kept the terms of the res." Because I think it was just to return it after 2 weeks, right?
Right.
Which I have done by 1 day.
And also the vial of blood you have to return.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, we have to return that. Okay, cool.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
So he takes both things back and says, "Thank you." And then he goes to leave.
And I think, okay, so I have a rules question for a second.
Sure.
I was reading the terms of an Aspect 7 miracle, which is what I did in order to twist language of the contract.
Right.
And there's a bit in it where it says you can do crazy things like that, but you can't affect it's more than a mile or two away, and you can't keep the miracle going for more than a few minutes. So, Hollyhock God, I have a question. Is the twisting of the thing an ongoing miraculous effect, or is it something I just do once at its execution?
You do it once.
Okay.
It's like moving a boulder. The boulder doesn't go back on top the pillar once once you got done building your elaborate rock tower, it doesn't fall down after a couple minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I will let him go.
And so Xena tries to stop him.
And I think Robert actually says, hang on, you could have walked out of here any time and you were just were sitting here?
Well, Xena tries to stop him.
Oh, okay.
And he says, "No, you won't leave." And then he shows her the contract. And she reads it for a while, and then she gets really pale. Says, "You weren't lying after all." All right. And hands him back the contract. And then she allows him to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, unfortunately, it seems that the boss of this place as I just said earlier, is an idiot.
A boss that more than likely can hear everything you say, Robert.
He doesn't say anything to that.
I've spent a lot of time with this contract, so I like. Can I ask a question? So
Sure.
is the contract essentially Terte helped Umaya form the chancel, and
No.
in exchange Umaya allows Terte to enter reality, or were there others who like also co-signed it? Like how many Imperator's fingers are on this contract? That's my question.
The only one that matters is Lord Entropy.
Okay.
Lord Entropy said, if you do not obey this contract and grant Tarte up Nephishtim free travel, then you will suffer my wrath. Xenos Sanguine knows who Lord Entropy is, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I haven't technically violated that, right? Or I guess we'll find out later. Okay.
You have,
Find out.
but let's.
That's fine. Don't answer that question. It's more
Just
interesting
gonna
if you don't answer the
step
question.
over here.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ask Lord Entropy how he feels about you right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Start a
Especially
project.
just go to the Locust Court and see what happens.
Sure.
Okay, we pissed off the Angels and the Lotus Court in 2 sessions.
I mean, there has
So
to be
we're
some
going to
kind
hell next session, right?
of there has to be kind of like noble probationary period where like they don't really hold your actions against you.
Yeah, you're just at your own training wheels, basically.
Totally. I mean, technically, nobody's even explained the laws to us. So
Yeah, it's not our fault.
anyway, this
I
is
don't
why
know.
I need Zena. I need Zena to explain to me what the laws of the Nobilis are.
Right.
Okay.
Because okay, so in Phineas's mind, there is a book somewhere that explains the actual nature of reality and all of that bind the behavior of the nobles, as there is a book that explains the nature of the mundane world and that binds the behavior of man. Like that is a thing that he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
So let me explain to you what this contract is. I explained it before, but you seem to have forgotten. This is
Yeah.
a contract Lord Entropy had written up because people kept imprisoning Tarte up Nephishtim. Lord Entropy's laws say you cannot do so without cause. And Tarte up Nephishtim has been very careful never to give anyone cause to lock him up. Lord Entropy gave him this contract as remedy, because otherwise, without this contract, Tarte up Nephishtim would be entitled to have countless nobles locked up for centuries because they did him wrong. And that was not something that either party really wanted, and this was a resolution to that problem.
Okay, then I have a question. Since the witch locked him up, who bears the punishment for that crime? Is it Umaya because it's their chancel, or is it Zanya because she's the one that did it?
It's the responsibility of whoever took the contract away from him.
Yep, fair enough.
Okay. Ah.
All right then, good.
Yeah.
So it's all on us.
Well,
Yeah. Well,
us.
I mean,
You say
it
us.
was-
It's
One of us.
Yep.
Because the contract was supposed to prevent this from happening.
I see.
But
Great.
fortunately, you didn't wait too long to give it back to him. I'm sure Lord Entropy will be forgiving.
it's not like we took it away from him. Give it up
He
willingly.
gave it to us, yeah. You know what happened.
He did, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So where
Not fair at all.
is? Can I just tune with my a little bit? I just like to follow where is going.
Um,
Using the eyes of various dinosaurs. or I will
Yeah.
talk to my estate.
So Terpe doesn't go too far. Like, he's going to ask you actually right away. Have you decided to honor the contract and allow my greater self to enter into creation?
I say we will enter. Of course, we abide by the terms of the contract.
Excellent. I will make preparations. And then he'll leave.
Where are you going first?
There's a group of primitives a couple miles to the east I want to chat with about their superstitions.
He's talking about staying in the chancel?
Yeah, for now.
I nod. And I like I've already done this conversation once, so I'll make us repeat it, but I think I would like to make the same request to Terte. To teach me about the ways of the world, about the world as it really is, not that is I still believe to be true. And I'm doing this partially to keep an eye on him, and partially because I genuinely need his.
I think Tarte says, I'll be happy to talk to you once my entire self is here. I'll be able to explain things much better than I can now.
Entire self? Robert says exactly like that.
So, excrucians are...
I'm saying that in character.
Yeah,
yeah.
He is also explaining in character. He says, excrucians are not like men. We are more like the ocean. And there are shores to this ocean. Every so often, a drop of water gets through. I am like that drop of water. And why ask the drop of water about the ocean? The ocean has seen far more.
So the ocean is all excrucians?
Just me. There are many oceans and the lands beyond creation, many excrucians.
Tell me, I think he thinks to himself. I think we have telepathy, so I'll just telepathy check if I should do this. I want to ask him about Elisal Salam, Asilal Salam.
Sure. Yeah, I don't have any objections.
Okay. Then I Robert says, what do you know of the excrucian Asilal Salam?
She'll be hunting you soon.
She already is. That's how we know her name.
Surprise. Asil Salam is the Warmane who tests with death. Some Warmanes will turn you into a monster, or cut off your arm, or blind you. And see if you survive. She will just kill you. And see how you handle death.
Why us?
Wait, handle death? As in, is there a thing after death?
Death isn't permanent. Asilal killed your...
glancing at Phineas.
She killed your Imperator. She's the one that made Umaya extinct. To see how Umaya handled death. And Umaya has handled death amazingly, as well as anybody could be expected. This is what those of us that we call war mains look for. People who are worthy to join non-existence with us. That when creation finally is destroyed, they are the ones that will be granted the fate we seek.
Can Asilal be killed
No. I thought
at all?
eventually, she can be delayed. She'll come back if you kill her.
How soon?
Varies.
Between?
It's usually a matter of years.
That's a useful delay. Looks at the others. I think he says this out loud this time. Do we want to try to fight her?
Do we have a choice?
I mean, she killed our Imperator, and that was before they were injured and weeping and when they were an angel. So she's pretty powerful.
Mm-hmm. I think. Is the witch still with us? Is Zaina still?
Yeah, Zaina is down there with you. You're all down there.
I think I turn to Terte and repeat the question. Do we have a choice?
2?
To fight her or not?
No, war mains love fighting. And now that your Imperator has proved that they are worthy, nothing will stop her.
Okay, now what I have written down here in terms of vials of blood is that I have a vial of my Imperator's blood. Is that true, or that we gave back, or was it the Excursion's blood, or was there a vial of each?
You had both. You still
Okay.
have the Imperator's blood.
Okay. I ask, how much or what did you want in exchange for that vial of blood back? Not as part of the contract, but just by itself.
I don't see why I would trust you with it.
It's a matter of survival for us versus her. You don't seem like a friend of hers. We could use it to get to know her more. I didn't ask a gift.
Wait, stop. Are you asking for him to give you the Imperator's blood? Because you still have the Imperator's blood.
Correct. I'm asking for him to give me the vial of his own blood that we just gave back to him. I'm asking what he wants in exchange for it.
I think he says, you have me misunderstood. I have no ill will towards your Imperator. In fact, if you had let me through right away as I had requested, I might have been gracious enough to delay his sile. If you are hoping to fight your Imperator, you will have to ask someone else.
I don't wish to fight my Imperator. I wish to fight the Excursion who hunts us.
And you think my blood will help you do that?
You are both Excursions. Would it at least give clues?
Very well. I'll give you a sample of my blood. But you will owe me a favor that I will decide at a later date.
Deal.
All right.
Okay.
Deal. So I feel like
Excellent.
he would make you sign a res to this.
Yeah. Let's draw that up and then end the session
Um,
with XP.
Sure, is it going to be late? Yeah, it's going to be late. Okay. So let's say who's handy? Xena does not want to be the holder of a res because she knows what that means. It means you go crazy.
The bard upstairs.
The bard upstairs. The barmaid. Robert number 2, Robert clone.
Yeah, it could be him. If I think that actually makes a lot of sense. Because if
at least that you know how he's going to enter the contract.
Nah, that's a bad idea. He'd go crazy.
He's biased. Okay. Could it be one of us? Like, could it be Phineas or Trek?
Let's say it's a dinosaur.
Awesome.
Hey, pick something in your own damn estate.
It's a sadistic dinosaur.
It's a sadistic dinosaur. We established that most of the dinosaurs here were actually sadistic.
Yeah.
I mean, I can.
And I think
By
most of the people
definition,
were too.
argue that they are not. That in fact, I know for a fact that they are merely hungry and primitive.
That's
and I
one of
have
the properties.
that proves it.
Okay. Well, maybe it's the people hunting dinosaurs that are sadistic.
A dinosaur hunter?
Yes, and he has a hat, like a brown leather hat, and he talks in an Australian accent. That's a clever girl.
All right.
Crikey a lot.
Yep.
Dinosaur hunter
Yes.
res in Dinosaur Hunter.
His name can be Rez. That's a good Australian name.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's
Perfect.
thematically
It's
appropriate.
Raz, actually. I think it's Raz the Rez.
Wait, why does it say I'm typing?
Because of this little button I can do, I Fermi
I see.
hold
I knew that, but
my power. Because I am GM, I can do whatever I want.
Hey,
Yeah.
That's identity theft.
I mean, you gave your
I mean,
consent by joining the campaign, so.
We're all GMs. We can all do it. I hope you realize.
I actually forgot. I didn't know we were all GMs.
All right, so let's do XP.
Okay, how do we XP again?
So I look at your quests and I decide if any of them were hit upon. I don't. Trek did claim a miraculous anchor. Was this a new one? Did you just add this on?
I changed it from how I made change my anchor to just a miraculous anchor.
Oh, you don't want change anymore? Oh, okay.
It still could be. I just made it a little broader so we could fit in something along the way. Because
it's better just to like it's good to have a really specific theme and then make it meander than to just try and collect. Because like this isn't really a project, right? It's something you can just do.
right.
Like it's something you literally just did. Therefore, it doesn't make sense as a project. It usually has to be a little bit more grander in scope.
Okay.
So put that back to change, and then I'll give you a trivial victory because you did learn how to take an anchor. How did Trek find a home? Doesn't seem to be looking for his home. How Trek sought the
Not yet.
witch? You found a witch. Let's see here. Victory. Sure, I'll give you 1 MP. I think everybody went to find a witch. So everybody can get 1 MP. Spend that where you want.
Everybody does?
Yep.
Okay.
How Trek learned to manipulate the physical world.
I mean, learning to seize giant meteor might be a thing, but I don't know if
Yeah.
you want to.
I'll
Yeah,
give
that
you
is a
one for
pretty
that.
big manipulation of the physical world.
That is pretty important. Like you've learned how to cheat around Imperial miracles, which is important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also blocking physical paths from point A to point B.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. I don't think you failed to change the physical world in any way. All right. So that's it for Trek. Everyone, who was involved in the meteor? I think just
Phineas was slightly involved. I think he found out about it.
yeah. Trek and Phineas get 1 MP. I don't think
I
Robert
had
was
nothing to do with
involved.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, so I don't get the MP for the, or is
Yeah,
that
you
a
do
different-
not. You do not.
For which one?
the only
For
one so far, right?
yeah, you only get 1 so far. For Robert.
Oh, and you two get 2. Okay.
Yeah, they get 2. For the whole meteor thing.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah,
'Cause you
there was a
brought
whole
the problem to
meteor
Trek.
thing. It's a
There's
thing.
a whole meteor thing.
Yeah.
How you took care of your family despite being Nobilis. I think you got a victory here because now you have Robert 2.
I have, Robert 2.
Um,
His name will be Robbot.
who was involved in that? I think that was
Currently
really
in
just
closed
you.
beta.
Yep.
I don't think Phineas or Trek made a major
Phineas was
impact on
involved
that.
slightly. Oh, major impact?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I changed the direction of anything.
not really.
No.
Let's see.
How badly will I get addiction causing pain? That was something I would, like...
I mean, you're building up to it. I think like you're coming to your own with the whole "how can I hurt" thing.
Very much so. In addition, during the time that we were with, what was her name, Zaya?
Xena.
Xena. And he wasn't feeling sadistic. I think he was like introspective for a time, and then he decided he wanted to feel it again. He wanted to feel the power, and he was like, he wanted to feel how he felt before.
Okay. So he is becoming addicted to it.
Yeah.
So
with one more scene, you could have gone away from the witch and just inflicted pain.
Oh, I nearly threw that knife rock in her face. I nearly killed her. But I think you guys talking with her barely made me stand down. If you guys had a disagreement or like had an impasse, I would have just killed her. Like I was that close.
So it sounds like you had a success. You've learned how badly you got addicted.
Yes.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Is this actually a revelation?
I think so. Because it's like he isn't sadistic, but he wishes he was again.
All right, let's read this really quick here just to make sure. A revelation changes the meaning of what the characters are doing. It adds risk or quandary or simply scope.
Yeah, and I think that before, Robert has always wanted to no longer be who he was, and then he wasn't who he was, and then he missed it.
All right. That seems pretty big. Like you've realized something really important about.
Yeah, maybe this should more go in the place of less how. This could be either or. How badly will I get it causing pain, and how I came to terms with being one of the Nobilis. Like it kind of fits in both.
I
It's
think
the same scene, but yeah.
Well, here's what happens, right? You have 15 points in this now,
Yeah. Okay.
so that completes this circle. We now know
Okay.
how badly you get addicted. You get completely addicted.
Yes. Yes, he is.
So that means you get to do what Phineas did at the start. You get to
Okay.
restate how you learn these things, and you get to say one more thing that's true. What is true as a consequence of what you've done in learning how badly you'll get addicted to causing pain.
Okay. Um. Consequence of what I have done. Um.
Well, I mean, we could open with it next, right? Or just have
Yeah. Could I think of it
Sure.
next session or
Sure.
in between sessions?
That's
Yeah.
fine. But let's not sit on these because they're not intended to be.
Yeah. No, I mean first thing.
The other thing is, do you feel this project is completed?
I think I do. Yeah.
All right. So we will just, in that case, project completion. Anything special?
$1 million and a pony. It says right here.
Right.
I want a pony.
All right. We'll just say that you now have, player authority over your addiction.
That makes sense. Because I think that's pretty much effectively what I was considering saying.
Right. I think this also
Which
might
is
be.
to say, like, he is totally addicted, but he can satiate or suppress it for temporary times if he needs to get stuff done.
No, this is a personal project.
Okay, so it's different.
Yeah.
All right.
Personal destiny.
Is it a problem for you?
Yeah, it was a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not a rejected struggle.
I mean, on page, what is
It's
this?
an embrace struggle.
There's a whole section on change.
That's a he's not fighting it anymore
What do
thing.
you spend that destiny on? Right.
Yeah. So if you look at change on page 347, it says when something for you changes, tell the Hollyhock God they will frame for you a couple of the key questions this raises. Answering those questions brings you 10 destiny and 0 to 5 MP. Does that apply here?
Yep. All right. So we're gonna do that.
The next section on struggle might also apply. I don't know.
Right. This was about his becoming a power, though. So how's this going to work is you will have 10 destiny that you can spend getting new stats for your character, or you can put them all in another project and advance that project. So you could fill out how I took care of my family despite being a Nobilis. You just drop 10 more destiny in there.
And then it's click your fingers and it's done.
And we took care of your family. And you get to say how. It depends if you want to act on that in play or you just want to say it happens.
Yeah, and I think for that one, acting on it in play would be better. I'll think about what I want to do. I'll probably improve my character's stats. There are some things I like and some things I
will have to improve. Negotiate that because you don't just automatically get 10 destiny, really. It's not that number in particular.
Okay.
This 10 destiny is actually quite a lot.
Okay.
So look at what you want. Like 10 destiny is the limit, and we'll figure it out. How was I most deeply hurt in my past? We don't know about that.
Not yet. No.
How I came to terms with being one of the Nobilis. So here we'll just give you a normal victory.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
But let's back up here. So we agree this is a super victory. What? A revelation. So who else was involved in you deciding? I think it was really just you.
In this latest one, just this last victory,
Right.
I think it was, honestly. There was a lot
Okay.
of like him thinking to himself, a lot of him pacing and him
Right.
introspecting. Yeah.
So I can give you 3 MP for this one because it was
Okay.
kind of laid back.
Yeah.
So you get 3 MP for that and 1 MP for, well, no, just 3 total. I don't want to give you
Okay.
MP twice. I'll give you Destiny twice, but um, okay, you put that there. How I vindicated my Imperator in the eyes of heaven. Haven't really done anything about that this session.
Yeah, I guess that's separate from the whole excrucian attacking us thing. So yeah,
Right.
that makes sense.
So let's look at Phineas.
Hey, here I am.
How I healed my Imperator. We didn't really do too much with your Imperator this session.
No, I mean, like all I did was I asked what else they needed, and they said nothing. So, which I think
Right.
just meant you're supposed to know.
Pretty much, it means you're supposed to go get God. What are you doing?
Yeah, God, jeez.
Man, I told you what you need to do.
Yeah, so I don't think I've
Um,
done anything there.
how I captured the soul of the Creator. You have a way to get there now.
Do I? What's
The meteor.
the meteor? Yeah, I guess. I guess I make finding the location. That's true.
I think you already got the points for this from the Trek meteor thing, though. So there's no more MP from this. Um, how I stopped the deceiver from entering creation.
I did it, sort of.
Is this a success because,
Yeah, I could kind of go either way on it. It's just
or is it a failure
depends who
because
they
he
are.
is going to be entering creation?
Yeah, but they're limited to a certain part of it. I could see both arguments.
How do you feel? The victory
Um,
is the
Phineas
characters
thinks it's a
struggle and win, and by
Phineas thinks
winning,
it's a victory.
yeah, it's the power that victory gives you to say or prove or define something about the project. It's when you can say that part of the project was tangible. So in this case, the tangible thing is he's contained.
Yes.
Failure is the characters struggle. They hope to achieve victory, but they are balked. So you are not balked. You got what you
Mhm.
wanted, even though what you wanted isn't what you thought it was. All right, so you get a victory. I'll give
3.
you how much for victory?
I think it's 5.
No, it's not 5.
Oh, hang on. 3.
But how many MP? I'll give you 1 MP.
0 to 1 MP.
Yeah. So you get an MP. I think everybody gets an MP
Okay.
because you're all letting him go.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So that's it for this. Also, I can look at bonds and affliction really quickly, see if any of these really came up. Didn't meet any other nobles. I should bring in you being haunted. I'm gonna do that. Can't be tempted to sin.
I don't think that came up.
Is dealing with a witch a sin?
I mean,
That's a good question.
I didn't end up dealing with her.
True.
You didn't make an oath with her?
Thou shalt
That
not
was
suffer a witch
Shrek
to
did it, I
live.
believe.
It's in the Bible.
That's not in that's
I was going to
not,
say, I don't think that's in the Bible.
it's not actually in the Bible.
Is it not?
No, that's just often quoted.
It's like it's somewhere else.
Um,
Hang on,
Okay.
sorry, I'm not looking at my things. Hang on, give me a second.
Actually, it was in Exodus, according to the King James Version.
Oh yeah, I guess I suffered a witch to live.
do you want to take a wound for that? No. It's probably one of those old sins that you're allowed to do.
Yeah, so it's like find out.
You didn't have any direct. Well, you did have direct contact with her, and you acted morally superior. So
I did do that.
I'll give you 1 MP.
Okay. I need to start spending more MP. I have a lot of MP.
Don't worry. When you need it, you're gonna
That's
spend
true.
it all. As soon as you get to the locust court, right? Like all the MP is going to go. Whoosh.
Yeah,
And most of it will be spent convincing Lord Entropy not to kill you. I'm pretty sure.
not to kill us.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about
I
right.
mean, even if you're his best friend, that's still what happens.
Yep.
Just read about his powers. They don't have good times. Let's see here. Let's look at Robert. Affliction, there's always a sharp weapon or object nearby. I'll give you an
Yep.
MP for that, because it definitely made you more violent, and that's not
Yes, that's true.
how you... It almost led you down the wrong path in a few instances.
Yeah, precisely.
Right, I don't think your bonds, like the bonds are your business to bring up.
Yeah, I think I didn't bring any of them up, I think. And without it being stuff that we already covered in terms of scenes. Yeah.
Right. Bond. Let's look at Zen now. Yeah, we'll give you an MP for cannot let anyone remain in place because it is impelling you to help the witch. The other infliction didn't
that was
really.
good. I really liked that.
Yeah. In fact, I think I'll give you 2 MP for that. And you are easily distracted by the horizon. Not really. If you had actually made a big deal out of flying off onto the meteor and it being like hard to get back, then sure. But you just retconned that. So retconning yourself doesn't get you MP.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, I think we're done.
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right. Good.
Tomorrow,
You guys are-
the locust court.
You guys are
Next
cutting
session,
the
I should be
Scordian
on my
knot.
computer properly, unless it's broken, but I don't think it will be broken.
You've got a week to fix it, and no excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully the Wi-Fi is a little bit better too. I think because as soon as you quit out Hangouts, you're no more audio problems.
Yeah.
Makes me think your laptop probably has a bad antenna.
Could be. Yeah. I'm also literally pretty much as physically far away from my router as I could be,
Yeah.
basically. Maybe that's part of it.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Laptop
I don't know.
connectivity is an issue. But at least we got the voice issues resolved. This is important.
Yeah.
And if we have to, we'll just take a picture of you and we'll put you down there.
Sure. We'll do that next week if we need to. I doubt we'll need to, but yeah.
I still have one of you from somewhere because that happened during Apocalypse World, but I can't find it.
You're welcome. Oh, never mind.
I'm looking for it, but I can't find it. All right. So good game,
All right.
guys.
Cool. That was fun. I feel
Thank
like
you for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye.
Later.